Some stories stick with you, not because you know how they end, but because, well, you don't. Today, we're heading back a full century to a really remote farmstead in Germany to try and piece together one of history's most chilling and, frankly, bizarre unsolved crimes. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, just think about that question for a second. It's deeply unsettling, isn't it? But that question is at the absolute heart of this case. We're not just talking about a murder here. We're talking about a killer who lingered. Someone who stayed on the farm, fed the animals, ate the family's food, all while their bodies were just a few feet away.
All right, so to understand this, we have to start at the end with the discovery. We're in Bavaria, Germany. It's the spring of 1922, and our scene is a farm so isolated, it actually had its own name.
And this is the toll. 6 people. That's an entire family, plus their brand new maid, just wiped out. All of them, gone in a single night of just unbelievable violence. It was the complete and total end of the Gruber family.
And this is the place, Hinterkaifeck. Now, this wasn't a town or a village. No, it was just this one farm. I want you to picture it, deep in the woods, miles and miles from anybody. And that isolation, it's absolutely crucial to this whole puzzle. It's how the killer could show up without anyone noticing, and it's why the crime itself went undiscovered for days.
So check out this timeline, because this is where the story goes from tragic to just deeply strange. The murders, we now know, happened on a Friday. But for the next 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, something weird was going on. Or rather, nothing was. From the outside, the farm looked totally normal. Neighbors saw smoke coming from the chimney, the cattle were clearly being fed and cared for. It was as if someone was still there, living their life, until Tuesday, when worried neighbors finally went to check and made the gruesome discovery.
The weapon they used was a pickaxe, a mattock to be specific, and it belonged to the family. It came right from their own tool shed. The killer used it on all 6 of them. But here's the detail that just baffled investigators right from the start. A big pile of cash was found inside the house, completely untouched. So whatever this was, it wasn't a robbery gone wrong.
So you have to ask, what on earth led up to this night of terror? To figure that out, we've got to rewind the clock a little, to the days before the crime, because it turns out the farm had become a very, very creepy place.
Yeah, to put it mildly. For weeks, maybe even longer, something was wrong at Hinterkaifeck. The family was on edge. They felt like they were being watched, and they were surrounded by these little signs that they were not alone.
I mean, just try to put yourself in their shoes. You find a single set of footprints in the fresh snow, leading out of the dense woods right up to your house, but no prints leading away. You start hearing strange noises from the attic at night. Then, a set of your house keys just vanishes. A newspaper shows up that nobody in the family bought. It's no wonder their last maid literally ran away, claiming the place was haunted. All of these clues point to one absolutely terrifying possibility, that someone might have been secretly living on the farm in the attic or the barn, watching them, long before the murders.
Now, with a crime this bizarre, you would hope for a sharp, meticulous investigation, right? Well, that's not what happened here, not even close. In fact, the police work is a huge reason this case is still ice cold today.
The investigation was, to put it bluntly, a total disaster right from the start. On one side, you have how a crime scene should be handled. On the other, you have Hinterkaifeck. Instead of securing the area, police basically let the entire village come and go as they pleased. People were wandering through the house, touching things, contaminating everything. Evidence was moved, and get this, the autopsies were actually performed right there in the barn next to the bodies. Any chance of finding clean forensic clues was just gone, almost instantly.
And the mistakes just kept piling up. I mean, on top of all the contamination, and the fact that forensics in the 1920s was pretty basic, this truly bizarre and tragic decision was made. The victims were beheaded after death, and their skulls were sent to Munich to be examined by psychics. And then, those skulls, pretty much the last major pieces of physical evidence, were lost or destroyed during World War II. Just gone.
So with the trail being cold, basically from day one, all investigators had left were theories and suspects. And believe me, there were plenty of both.
Over the years that followed, the police ended up interviewing more than 100 different people in connection with these murders. 100! But not a single charge ever stuck. The case just became this open wound in the community.
So let's talk about the main suspects. The first, and maybe most likely, was a neighbor named Lorenz Schlittenbauer. Now, he'd had an affair with one of the victims, Victoria Gruber, and a lot of people thought he was the real father of her young son. He was also one of the first people to find the bodies, and he acted really strangely, moving things around at the scene. But police could just never find enough concrete evidence to charge him.
Then you have a theory that sounds like something out of a horror movie. It centers on Carl Gabriel, Victoria's husband. See, he was officially listed as killed in action during World War I, but his body was never actually found. So rumors started swirling that he'd survived, maybe as a prisoner of war, and had secretly come back to find his wife had a child with another man, and he sought a terrible revenge.
And then, of course, there's the most haunting possibility of all, that it was a complete stranger, a random drifter passing through, a political extremist. Remember, this was a really volatile time in Germany. When you can't find a motive like robbery, the door is just wide open. And that's maybe the scariest part of this whole thing.
And then, just 1 year after the murders, as if to try and just bury the memory of what happened, the entire Hinterkaifeck farmstead was torn down, razed to the ground. In doing so, they literally destroyed the crime scene, making sure its secrets would be buried even deeper, forever.
And so, that's where we are today. 100 years later, we're left with the exact same question. Was it a neighbor, a stranger, a ghost from the past? The ghosts of Hinterkaifeck are still there. Those footsteps in the snow still lead to the farmhouse door, but never, ever away. And the identity of the person who made them remains Germany's greatest and most chilling unsolved mystery.